Um, we're getting ready to get started with this lesson. The title of this lesson is Sheep in the Midst of Wolves. Okay? The title of this lesson is Sheep in the Midst of Wolves. Um, had some internet problems. And let me speak on this a little bit. I want to tell y'all the level of internet problems I have or I've had here, and maybe somebody can lend some wisdom to it or whatever. At the end of the day, I'm a straight soldier fighter. I'm gonna get down to the bottom of it. But let me tell you the level of internet problems I had. First, I had AT&T internet. I pay them for the service. It's fiber optic, so the internet service here is fast. It's minimum 200 gigabytes per second, uh, which is smoking fast. Or I'm sorry, 200 megabytes per second, which is smoking fast. Um, it's very fast internet, uh, but it's supposed to be all the way up to 800 to 1,000 gigabyte a second internet speed. All right, upload download. Um, it wasn't that. It would sit at like 10%. The man came from the company, tested his phone on it, and sure enough, his phone was at those speeds. I tried it on my computer. My computer was slow as heck. Eventually, I ended up getting a new computer. At first, the computer was smoking fast, and all of a sudden, it was back to super slow. I put a new operating system on the computer, complete a Linux-based operating system. Still slow as heck. Still slow. Okay, so yeah, so which leads me to believe it's these modems, man, and it's something they're doing. Then I switched over to Comcast, to a whole different internet service. Fast at first, then right back to the exact same thing. That's hooked up with the Ethernet cord, hooked up and everything. So I'll get down to the bottom of it, man. I got a good idea of what's going on. Ron Dalton said he was going through the exact same thing, and he just spends the money and uses two internet services. Um, it's funny because I even logged into my neighbor's internet service and it wirelessly, and it was still faster than mine. So there's definitely something up. I don't know what it is, but um, what I want y'all to do is just pray for me. Just pray for me, cause I'm gonna get it right. And I have expertise in these areas when it comes to internet fixing problems, getting down to the source. Um, and if I find a way to where I don't have to use their modem, so be it, man. Because they got, but it's all a hustle now, you know. And yeah, it's a mess, man. It's a mess. All right, so what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna tag these people real fast in the comments, real quick, so they could come back in. Um, and then we'll get started with the show. Again, the title of this is, and it's gonna come straight down the middle, but it's wolves or sheep in the midst of wolves. And basically, what I'm getting at is, we have to warn our people. Um, there's a lot of deception out there, and they're not and that's fine. We knew it was going to be that way, but we have to warn the people. Okay, we have to let them know that deception's out there. And what you're going to see in this lesson is that deception is killing us. Okay, the deception out there is killing us. And if you could, because that other video I did earlier, the first live I did, I had to delete it. Just go ahead and share it, tag people, invite them in, because they might still be trying to get that other one to work. I just tagged a bunch of people there, as y'all can see in the comments, to hopefully get them back in. I'm gonna pull I'm gonna pull it up on YouTube real quick so I could see my brothers and sisters on there. Keep track of y'all's comments. But anyway, with that said, let's get into this lesson. All right. So sheep in the midst of wolves, and here's an image that perfectly shows what's going on right now. Those are the other nations. Those are the heathens. And those are them just tearing us apart. That's a sheep there, and they're just tearing that sheep apart. And that's like a perfect example of what's going on with us right now. Okay? Sheep in the midst of wolves. We're getting torn apart as a nation, and it's the thing that makes it so frustrating to sit back and watch is the fact that we're getting torn apart by this is happening to us by it's simple stuff. It's like basic Bible stuff. But because for filthy lucre's sake, folks don't want to speak basic book. Okay? All right, there we go. All right, so for filthy lucre's sake, people don't want to speak basic book. Yeah, brother Yashara, I have a gaming computer. I spent some money on the computer just to eliminate it as the issue. And just to tell you real fast, brother Yashara, on my other computer, it when it was doing that and it was running slow, I'm sorry, it was actually on this computer when I bought it because it started on my other computer. Then I got a gaming computer. At first it was running fast, and it started doing this. It was a Windows computer. I actually went into the services and processes running. I went through every one, and I found this one that was on there that was actually limiting the computer. It was actually slowing the computer internet service down. And when I deleted that program out, the computer went back to running fast again. So it's something that I think the internet service providers upload onto the computer somehow. It's a mess. It's a mess. But, most I want this message to come out, it's going to come out. All right. But anyway, let's get into some verses. Okay? And then we got a lot of good content to break this down. And we have a lot of verses backing up what I'm talking about. And you're gonna see the plainness of what I'm talking about. You're gonna see it so plainly and so obvious. It's gonna knock your socks off. You know what I'm saying? So, all right. So, let me find my verse. So here it is. It's Matthew chapter 10, verse 16. Okay, Matthew chapter 10, verse 16. It says, "Behold, I send you forth as sheep in the midst of wolves." Okay? It says, "Be ye therefore wise as serpents and harmless as doves." Does this apply to today? Does it? I think it applies to today more than anything else. This is very applicable. Okay? Sends us out as sheep in the midst of wolves. But what happens is the shepherds are allowing the wolves to devour us. Okay? And just to let y'all know, for those of y'all watching, today is plenty of time. So if you have questions or you want to add to because this is more of a discussion than a lesson. So if you want to add to the lesson, just put it in the comments there. We'll definitely chop it up. This is the rough framework of the topic, but it's no problem. I will veer off the topic, to you know, and address any questions or bring out whatever you're adding to the discussion. Okay? So, yeah, so let me see what y'all have to say. All right, so we're good. So, let's get into the meat though. Let's look at some things. Because the writing is on the wall. And there's a lot of stuff that we need to really get more focus on speaking on in all aspects of life. Because it's imperative that we jump on these topics, and make a priority of speaking on topics that are more important to speak on. And what do I mean by that? Well, this isn't complicated. And let me... All right. So let me go in on some of the topics that nobody speaks on, but are imperative that they, it's important that these topics be the bulk of what the leaders should be speaking on, because these topics are what people are literally dying because they're perishing for lack of knowledge, because the knowledge isn't being put out there. The wisdom on certain situations is just not addressed. And the biggest one, kind of at the center of it, is racism and unity. The racism that's out there, the fact that these other nations don't care about us. They're not going to save us. They're not going to help us. It's a waste of time trying to put the focus on becoming, we are the world, we are the future, global unity and all that. That whole message that these religions try to push to our destruction. When you look at how these heathen nations function, they're functioning like well-oiled basketball teams. They know what team they play on. They're about their team. When you read our book, it's a cultural book about our culture. It tells us, come out of her, my people. Come out of these other cultures. Don't partake of these other cultures' ways and envy your oppressor and get caught up in these other cultures. We have to be about our culture. But a lot of people don't want to teach on that. And what happens? We run to these other cultures and we can't figure out why we're destroying ourselves. And the sheep, what? They end up getting devoured. Look, getting devoured by the wolves. You saw the picture I put up there. Right here. It says, police point finger at innocent man they killed by implying he shouldn't have had his legal gun out. Okay? So, I'm going to make my point on this. You see this. You see they kill us and hold themselves what? Not accountable. Okay? They kill us and hold themselves not accountable. And then point it at him as being wrong. And according to his law, according to their own law, what's written for their heathen nation, according to their own law, they were wrong. They were in error. But they're still pointing the finger at him. Now, according to our biblical law, he was in error. Okay? Because he didn't know that, he thought the cops were there to protect him. He didn't realize, he didn't think the cops were his enemy. He didn't see all the past killings. He didn't see where the police will storm the wrong house, toss a flash bang grenade in the house, kill a little black baby girl, and then get off innocent. How a cop will shoot a brother in the back multiple times. shoot a man in the back, okay? And they're found not guilty, okay? He didn't see where a brother legally has a gun. Legally has a gun, and he goes to show the ID, and the cops kill him right there in the car. The Alton Sterling situation. Okay? He didn't see that. Nobody taught him about that. Nobody said, these people are not on your team. Nobody told him that a black man with a gun, according not to their written law, but according to their fruit, if a black man has a gun in his hand, they're going to kill him. Nobody taught him that. The shepherds didn't warn this sheep. This sheep right here, you see on my screen, was not warned that the wolves would devour him. Okay? He wasn't, nobody told him. He was told, oh, happy, yeah, Christian, yeah, this worship, and all that stuff. But he dead. Nobody came to him with this true biblical message that I'm breaking down right now and told him what the game was. And now he's dead. Nobody told him that this was the situation. And this is what ended up happening to him. They shot that brother in his face too. And he didn't know what the game was. I did a lesson on gun safety. And in my lesson on gun safety, I warned people. I said, look, use your gun if you absolutely have to, and try not to even draw the gun. Because not according to police policy. I'm talking about, the Bible says you will know them by their fruits. You will know something or someone or whatever by its fruits. Watch their actions. According to the police actions, if you have a gun, they're going to kill you. We got to teach our people this. If you have a weapon, they're going to kill you. I tell you, comply or die. Okay? But I can show you I could show you a ton of Hebrew organizations or so-called biblical teaching organizations. And you're going to see I got a bunch of stories here where they're not warning you about nothing. They're just letting you die. They're letting the wolves devour you. And that's not what the book told us to do. All right? We have to warn the people. We have to warn our people. We have to wake them up. And you're like, well, what are you talking about, Mike? What I'm saying is we have to tell the people. I can't get worried about all this deep biblical doctrine and all that. You don't see me get caught up in doctrine, because me teaching you all this deep biblical doctrine ain't going to keep you alive tomorrow when that cop comes up to you, when that cop pulls you over, when you're in some of these situations that I'm going to bring up. We got to warn you about the immediate dangers. And that's what I'm pissed about. Folks are not teaching and warning you about the immediate dangers. What you're going to see at the end of this lesson is that your life is in immediate danger. And we're walking around, we don't realize that. And you wind up in situations, some of these situations that I'm going to show you. Okay? All right. Here's another one. It says, an armed extremist group in Georgia is threatening violence if Stacey Abrams wins. So, and this is probably old, because this was probably during that election. Yeah, it was in early November. The point I'm making here is, you see these guys here? This woman? You see these people? These are people you work with. Some of these, Some of these people you work with that you can't figure out why they kind of seem just subtly difficult to, they're people you work with. They're in your everyday life. This guy might be your neighborhood cop. This might be the girl you work with in your office. But yet, what these people are telling you, these false prophets and these so-called shepherds are telling you, oh, you got to show yourself friendly to them and this, that, and the other. No, the book says, be wise as serpents, harmless as doves. The book tells you when a man's ways please the Most High, he make even your enemies to be at peace with you. But what does that mean when a man's ways please Yah? What does it mean to be wise as a serpent, but harmless as a dove? Well, I got a lesson I put out earlier about, I think, workplace office politics or whatever, biblical office politics. A lesson I put out earlier showing you how to navigate through the minefields of these jobs, how to be obedient and respectful to those in positions of authority over you, how to deal with them, how to be at peace with these other nations. Because he just said he sent you out in the midst of wolves. Check this verse out, man. Y'all think I'm playing, man. I think y'all think I'm just talking, and I'm not. Let me show y'all some I'm gonna get my breakdown, and I'll just put it up here. It ain't gonna, I'll just these my verse. This is my ammo pouch here. You know what I'm saying? Let me make it bigger, so you don't think it's something I'm talking about. It says, "Keep thee far from the man that have power to kill, so shalt thou not doubt the fear of death, and if thou come unto him, make no fault, lest he take away thy life presently." It says, "Remember that thou goest in the midst of snares." What? Of traps. In the midst of snares. 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 He fell in a snare, and the wolves devoured him. And we're not warning our people. Hey, y'all, put a verse in there backing up what I say. If y'all on Facebook or y'all on YouTube, put a verse in there backing up what I'm saying right now. Okay? Put a verse in there backing up what I'm saying. All right? Because our people are walking in the midst of snares and don't realize. And then when somebody close to them dies, they're like, "Oh God, why?" He told you why. He told you why. He told you why. He told you why you need to be slow to anger and stay calm and be watchful and not be trying to run after these other nations. He told you why. He told you why. So you wouldn't because these wolves will devour you. Oh, Mike, what are you saying, man, Mike? So what you saying, Mike? Are we supposed to are we so you saying we not supposed to talk to any white people? I didn't say that. I'm not saying that, because there are people, there are heathens out there from these other nations that recognize this truth. There are heathens out there from other nations that recognize this truth. They know it to be the truth, and they come with a meek and humble spirit and with spiritual discernment. You know these people. Lucas Cameron. What's the other guy? Brother Dana from Chicago. These brothers realize this. You can hear it in their spirit when they speak on it. But it's few and far between. And they're going to come to you. They're going to come to you. You don't have to run after them and try to mimic them and be like them. Come out of her, my people, and choose none of her ways. He has given us the perfect culture, the perfect way to live in this book. This book is a book of the perfect culture, the perfect way of living that the Most High Yah has given us. This society has mimicked it and perverted it. Come out of it. Choose God's way, not this culture's way. This, oh, we are the world. Oh, we can all be one. Nah, it's Team Hebrew. It's Team Hebrew. And if you coming from team, whatever nation you from, and you want to play on Team Hebrew, come on. Come on. Get on Team Hebrew. It's the team to be on. Come on, you welcome. Join the team. You know what I'm saying? Get on Team Hebrew. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, you might ride the bench. You might be a water boy for Team Hebrew, but it's better to be on Team Hebrew than on, you know, the losing team. You know, we going places. It is written. Our playbook says it. You know what I'm saying? But we got to make this clear because people are dying now. All right, I'm just getting started, man. I got some heavier stuff than that. Look at this, man. This is what they're not telling us. Hold on. Now check out this video, man, because this is what they're not telling us. Folks is listen. Check this out.
The store, they selling these guns. You not buy from the store, they selling these guns to certain these kids. Look, sis. We don't want to support that. Just find another store if you can, be. Thank you. We
especially this neighborhood. And you know this neighborhood. You know how the guns is in this neighborhood.
They don't care about our stores.
Philadelphia, look what they selling our children, man.
Hey. My grandson that brought this, you know how old he is? So that means y'all son, you know how old he is? He 10. He 10. Imagine if he make this dark and then go outside and do like this in front of a cop or in front of a person that carries. You think it's cool for a kid to come by? You see what this gun do?
I don't hear nobody sounding the alarm on this stuff. I don't hear nobody sounding the alarm on that. Did you see how I got? Hold on, let me show y'all that picture. Where's that picture at there?
Look what they selling our children.
Look at that. And I know about guns. Like I miss the weapon. You know what I'm saying? I know a thing or two about things too. That thing is, the cops are shooting people with a sandwich in their hand or something. Look, they shooting us with nothing in our hands while we running away from them. Why would they let them? Listen, look, because it's too simple. It's too simple. If these other nations that we run after, trying to be like, act like, be like, if these other nations cared about us, why aren't they in there fighting to get this out of our stores? Why would they let that go in? Because they want you dead. Why would they let that go down? After all these shootings, why aren't they taking measures to prevent it? Why, after these shootings, like for instance, the guy who got shot in the thing, all these shootings, the cops never come on in a press conference and explain to you what you need to do to stay safe. They don't do it. They don't do it. They don't tell you how to, you know, stay safe in these situations. They don't try to help you. They want to kill you off. It's an agenda. And look at, I mean, that gun, and the people who call themselves teaching this book, and this is the most obvious thing going through the book. Like, this scriptures just talking about how they're going to kill us all. And there's a lot of them out there. You don't hear them say a word about this stuff. Ever. Ever. You don't hear them say a word about this. And this is the immediate This requires immediate attention. Them brothers you seen in there, trying to get that thrown out, them brothers is more, I don't care what the heck they believe in. They walking more in this truth and righteousness, even though they don't know it. Then I ain't gonna name nobody, any of these teachers out here, but a lot of people I see out here trying to teach this word. Because this is why we dying now. Like this, what they're doing is gonna save lives. It's going to stop kids from dying an early death. They putting in work for our nation. There's some stuff I've seen, and I use wisdom. I stay in my lane, and I know the best thing I could do is just teach the truth. I ain't got to call nobody out. I'm not calling nobody out. I ain't starting no trouble or anything. Only thing I can do is teach this truth. It's obvious these other nations are trying to kill us off and nobody's sounding the warning alarm. And why aren't they sounding a warning alarm? Because they'd rather tell you good things so that they could shake the money off you. Filthy lucre's sake. Okay? Here we go again. Here's another one. This is for the ladies, okay? So check this one out. This is heavy.
Black women on any given day put tons of products in our hair. Deep conditioners, leave-in conditioners, relaxers, gel, edge control. We don't just wake up like this. But looking this good could come with a steep price. And I'm not talking about money, honey. Today's baggage, hazardous hair products. If we're talking black hair products, we gotta talk about chemicals. Know this, black folks have tremendous spending power. In fact, we spend about $1.2 trillion a year on average. Y'all, this is $1.2 trillion that we have to spend on stuff. And when it comes to the ethnic hair market, we've got that on lock. In 2017, African Americans were responsible for $54 million of the $63 million spent in the ethnic hair industry. And the black dollar is valued at $473 million in the general hair care industry. But this should be no surprise. It's pretty well known that for better or worse, black women love to maintain their mane. Maybe it's because we've been indoctrinated with Eurocentric standards of beauty from before we could even comb our own hair. Straight hair was deemed beautiful, so for decades.
And we're going to continue, but I just want to say, nobody's teaching that. Why aren't we encouraging these women to go natural? To keep your money in our community, with natural products. So anyway, I'll let her keep going. I'll let her finish. I don't want to keep interrupting.
Black women spent much of their time and resources making sure that their hair met the standard. Fried, dyed, and laid to the side. But in the 1970s, the Black Power movement spread ideologies of pride and self-love. Black women moved away from chemically straightened hair and wore their hair naturally as an act of resistance. Today you'll notice that there's a resurgence of the natural hair movement. We're embracing an array of textures and styles, but Garnier ain't cutting it and we gotta keep the curls popping. Hence the never-ending hunt for the perfect hair care product. With all the money that we pour into hair care and the shelves of products we lather into our scalps, what does this mean for our health?
Black women are some of the most overexposed and underprotected to toxic chemicals in personal care products.
This is Marissa Chan. She's the environmental
overexposed and underprotected to chemical products. Overexposed to this society because, and that's going to take me directly into my next thing, which is going to be relationships. But black women are the most overexposed and underprotected spiritually. It starts spiritually. Spiritually, black women are the most overexposed and underprotected species out there, whatever you want to call it, group or whatever. All right, it's on a spiritual level. People don't want to teach on the fact that we gotta get in order, get our relationships right, because our women out there being destroyed. You can't say it any better than the girl said. We've been indoctrinated with this Eurocentric standard of beauty. When we see in the book where it says, envy not your oppressor, choose none of his ways. How you can't say it any better. Come out of her, my people. Separate from this culture. Separate from it. All right, hold on.
Mental research and policy manager at Black Woman Wellness LA, a nonprofit that aims to promote the health and health services of Black women. Her organization partnered with the Silent Spring Institute for a 2016 study looking at 18 different hair products. Their findings were disturbing.
There are a lot of toxic chemicals in Black women's hair products. To name a few, one would be formaldehyde. Formaldehyde is a carcinogen or a cancer-causing agent, and it is found quite often in Brazilian blowouts, as well as it's off-gassed from a lot of preservatives. Sodium and calcium hydroxide are found in hair perms or hair relaxers, and they can cause burns or lesions and let other toxic chemicals into your body through the burns or lesions. And lastly, I would say phthalates are a toxic chemical. These phthalates are hormone mimickers, and they can impact your reproductive health depending on time of exposure.
The study also found...
So, we're not gonna watch the whole thing, but you see what I'm talking about. And then we don't even have to go into the economic impact of it. Because my wife was telling me, like, I thought Black women were spending like $40-50 on their hair and stuff like that, but she was telling me it's way more than that. I was like, really? And she was like, yeah. I was like, shoot. I think she was saying like $300-400 or something crazy like that. From all aspects. But the main one is the health. It's impacting our health. And don't do it today because today's Shabbat, but Koya, buy natural products. There's Hebrew sisters all over the place making natural products. They're popping up all over the Hebrew Israelite community. And it's what's happening now. It's it's the reason why our women are coming up with cancer, fibroids and all that. They've traced it back to these chemicals. They were saying how these hair care chemicals mess up your endocrine system. Come out of her, my people. Choose none of her ways. Come out of this culture and begin embracing our Hebraic biblical culture that's laid out all through the book. It's obvious. We can't meld our Hebrew culture, try to, mold it in and combine it with this Greco-Roman beast system culture. It ain't gonna work. This revised Roman with the heathens culture. It's a culture of death. It's so simple because it's perfectly opposite what the Bible says. Y'all have seen what I brought up so far. All right, let's keep it moving. Let me show you another aspect of this. So we go into relationships. Let me see what I got here. Well, let's go into this real fast. Your boy Kevin Hart. I didn't read through the whole story, but Kevin Hart got on there. Sister Hicks said that packs of human hair start at $400 freaking dollars. Wow. I did not know that. Call me Captain Caveman over here because I don't really follow all the women's beauty stuff, but I did not know packs of hair cost that daggone much. Oh, you said up. as any woman in the black church. And the church, we got the book. These so-called religious teachers, we got the book that warns us about all this, warns us that the cops are going to be trying to shoot us, warns us about these workplaces and how to function there so you're not ready to hurt somebody. It warns us about how these heathen nations are going to take crafty counsel to destroy us. And nobody warns them. Nobody warns anybody. You don't hear anybody teaching on that. They teaching about everything else but what is the immediate emergency that's going on right now this time, where our people are dying. Our women are being killed off. All right? They letting the wolves devour the sheep. Everybody want to talk about, the angry Hebrews, and they out there on the corner yelling and all that stuff. They are doing way better, because at least they're going to wake somebody up to the danger, the immediate danger that's out there. Like, what we don't realize is we're walking around in a danger zone. You look at the brother, man. I don't think y'all understand. This brother here, this brother right here, because I was in the military. This brother here reached heights that I came nowhere near reaching in the military. Like this brother was an Army officer. You know, he was smart, but he didn't have wisdom. You know what I'm saying? Because they're not warning. The shepherds are failing. They're not warning the sheep. I can't tell you the number of brothers I go talk to, even at my job. There's a brother I talk to, and the cop thing came up, and I talked to him about it, and probably saved his life, because in his mind, if he got pulled over by a cop, he's going to argue with him, and he wasn't going to do this, and he wasn't going to do that. He could have been in a life or death situation. I got Sister Koya. You saw the video she did before, warning women about these hair products. She gonna do more. But Sister Koya and I got so much going on right now, because boy, you don't want me to get you don't really want me to get into this, but when I see stuff like this, you seen when it happened. When this happened? This happened November 26th. I'm speaking on it now. So while I'm calm, and I say everything, and I don't come off, but it hurts me when I see our people dying, and I know why. You know what I'm saying? And then it gets me even worse when people aren't warning our people about what's going on. Like, I could have pulled this brother to the side and told him, hey, I conceal carry too, but understand, if a cop see you with a gun, it's dangerous. Like, if you're not properly educated on how to conceal carry a gun as a black man, you don't realize how dangerous that is. Like, your chances of being killed by the cop, if you conceal carry, are like 80 or 90%. Your chances of being killed if you conceal carry are higher if you're not educated and you don't understand that the cops are now your greatest threat, not the thief out there or the situation, the crazy heathen who goes crazy. He no longer is your biggest threat. Your new biggest threat is law enforcement. Brother was bringing out last week, he was saying how if you look up, and I didn't look it up, but he was just saying there's a statistic of the number of black cops, either off-duty or undercover black cops, that get shot by cops. Because the cops, if a situation happens they're required. They're always on duty. So if they're not in their uniform, they still have to respond, have their gun and badge out. A lot of black cops get shot. Nobody's warning anybody, man. I'm warning them, man. I'm sounding it because I see the danger. We are sheep in the midst of wolves, and we think we're at Disney World. And what? That's what they're telling us out here. That's what they teach out here. That's what they pushing out here. Oh, it's all Jesus got you. Just trust in Jesus. You ain't got to do all that stuff. And then somebody in their family be the next victim. All right, we offer the cops thing. Let's go on. Let's get into the other stuff you never hear anybody speak on. Lust and pornography. Lust, molestation, rape, porn. Dealing with that. You don't hear it. Why? I can't tell you the number of the number of people, the number of messages I see all day on YouTube and Facebook and everything, and nobody ever hit on that. And that's because a lot of them folks are struggling with it. I mean, it's insidious out there. You know? You don't hear nobody teach on it. But yeah, it's the elephant in the room. Y'all saw when I did that series on the vicious cycle of lust, molestation, and rape, the vicious cycle or whatever, that series I did, or that long video I did, you saw all the people coming out saying it happened to me, it happened to me. And I'm still wrestling with it. And nobody's giving them any spiritual help on how to deal with it. Yet they trying to teach them all this deep doctrine and all this other stuff when they wrestling with demons real time. And nobody's showing anybody any combat moves in this warfare they're in. Nobody's speaking to the real issues. And I'm just telling you, man, because the reason, I'm just telling y'all, the reason why I'm smashing on it so hard, because I've seen some stuff happen recently to people. And then I watch, and I see why people are falling in the snares. I just showed y'all some public stuff that's happening in the public that you can relate it to, but I see stuff behind the scenes still happening to people, and it's like my people perish for lack of knowledge. The biblical knowledge that was ordained to be taught is not being taught. And people, you got folks is getting messed up out here over simple stuff. Like you see the brothers in there, them brothers is wise brothers. I don't need to know what religion they are. They're trying to protect their nation. We got warring up people, man. I'm telling you. If I could go into all the stuff I knew, y'all would be fired up like me. And then y'all seen what happened to this Kevin Hart. Now, I don't know how long ago this happened. Apparently, and I don't know the whole story, but basically Kevin Hart said something about, homosexuals or something. And now they all in an uproar because I guess they trying to cram that down everybody's throat. I saw where a basketball player was like talking about his dudes on the team running around as trannies, and nobody want to speak on it. Nobody want to speak on the effeminate spirit that's everywhere, which goes right back to what I said is the lust, the molestation, the porn addiction, the rape that's happened, all that stuff. The elephant, the biggest elephant in the so-called biblical, because I'm just putting it all in one thing, in the biblical organizations role, all these Bible believers in the Bible believer world. This is the biggest elephant in the room, and this is the least talked about topic. And it's the topic that carries the most weight, that causes the most hurt, the most destruction, all that stuff. And man, oh my goodness, man. If y'all just knew, boy. And the stuff, and then it just pisses me off where it's like, I'm the only one doing videos on it. I'm the only one speaking about it. When everybody should be speaking on this even more than, hey, we the Hebrews, or worrying about worship music and all that stuff. How you worshiping? You got a bunch of demons on you. You got a demon of unforgiveness and hurt on you from the molestation, or you got a demon of lust on you. You see what I'm saying? So if we're going to grow, if we're going to move this thing forward, like how are we going to come together as a nation when somebody is a molester or something, or struggling with porn addiction and lust? Do you want to come together? So that's, again, the only way that's going to be fixed is speaking on it, banging on it hard. You see what I'm saying? With no fear. Okay? All right. Let's see. Hold on. And I'm sorry, I've been rambling, but let me all right, I did it. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, think about how all that money that our sisters spend on that natural stuff. I think they said some insane amount of money, $1 trillion industry. But what I'm saying is, if our sisters had natural hair, they'd spend less money on it, and then they could keep the money in our nation, build our nation up, and on top of that, not be spending as much money. And on top of that, what? They're sending all this money to these other nations, then they get sick, and then they're sending even more money to the other nations. Then on top of that, they were saying it affects women, I guess, fibroids, they can't have babies. That is what needs to be getting spoken on. You know? But I'm telling you, a lot of these folks are just, I don't know. I don't know what their agenda is, what they're really about. So let's see. I'm sorry. Let me get on with y'all. Y'all been typing a lot in here. So somebody put, don't forget about Christianity, Brother Colton Washington. Yeah, he said, don't forget about Christianity. Christianity. All that is part of the Roman culture, the revised Roman culture. It's a part of the heathens' culture. They created religion. Ain't no religion. The Bible is a book about a culture. The Bible ain't no religious book. It's a book of a way of life, how to do everything. Christianity is a religion. And it's that, because the revised Roman Empire, these Romans created religion. Come on, man. Like, we can't be that. It's simple. So let's see. Alton Sterling was close to my area, and it was hard to watch that news. Yeah, man. Alton Sterling and the other brother. The cop said, I'm going to kill you. Oh, I'm going to kill you. Told the dude. And then shot him right in the chest, man. And wake up. And you can't see these people. The wise people know these people don't care about us. Speak on it. Because and this is the way it goes down. Then it hits home. It happens to someone near you. Okay? And then it's like, everybody like, why, Lord? Why? Why? I keep telling you, he told you why right here. All right? Comply or die. That's right. Let's see. Yeah, they want an excuse to kill our people. They sitting there. you see you see the videos where, you know, and I can show you videos where some of these heathens will have a gun and the cop is on his knees begging he's begging the person from his own nation, please put the gun down. And dude like, no. He pointing at people, no. And then us, no gun, no nothing, running like this, hands off, and shoot them in the back 9 times. And our people too stupid to see that these people don't care about us and too stupid to get out and warn our people. So you got to wonder, you know, some of these sheep are really wolves among the flock, and let them get ate up for what? Filthy lucre's sake, man. All right, so look, nice to see more of our people waking up. Praise the Most High. Yeah, and folks is waking up. Sister said, I've been natural for 3.5 years. That's good. That's true. That's right. Yep. Something else. I'm just showing y'all something else is controlling my mouse right now. Or oh no, that's Madison Samantha. Don't mess with that keyboard, cause you're messing with my computer in here. Okay, I thought they had hacked me, but no, it was just the girls. I got a wireless keyboard out there. I was like, oh, they done hacked my computer now. It says it's a part of, so what one of the sisters saying is it's a part of the agenda. They are putting estrogen in the vaccines to destroy our men, then family. Let me tell y'all this. Now that could be the case, but I'm going to tell you what's creating a lot of the effeminized, homosexual, lust-filled men. It's simple. It's internet porn. A lot of these men are addicted to internet porn, and they get so caught up in it, they start looking at worse and worse things, and they pervert their mind. And because I was hooked on it. And it's like, I'm driven, I got a lot of willpower, but the only way I was able to give that up was by praying, fasting, and seeking the Lord. And he brought it up out of me. He delivered it from me. He says some demons only come out by prayer and fasting. Okay? But what it is, you got so many people who are struggling with these things. That's one of the main reasons it don't get taught on. But that's why you see a lot of homosexual men. Because that internet porn feeds lust. That's why you're just going to see molestation just continue to spike and go up. Because dudes are over. I can't tell you. I'm talking real frontline stuff that I deal with. Frontline counseling brothers, getting them out of this thing consistently over and over again. I know what I'm talking about. A lot of brothers are dealing with this lust, and even for me, nobody's teaching on how to deal with it, how to overcome it. You're just a slave to these wicked spirits. If you're wanting to know how to deal with it, go watch the video I did on it, on the vicious cycle of lust, molestation, and rape. That vicious cycle, it's like a 3-hour long video. And if that don't do it for you, and I got other videos on it, and if that don't do it for you, hit me up for counsel. But, I mean, again, nobody teaching on it. Nobody teaching on why all these men running around gay. Yeah, and it could be something they putting in the water too to make you more horny. But all that homosexuality is lust gone crazy. It's just a higher level of lust. You so lustful, you went into this, boom. And then you look at the HIV rate among those people, it's out of this world. And then when you got that, then what? Now you're a slave to this society because you got to work to buy those medications to stay alive. It's vicious. It's crafty counsel. And like I said, if I don't say another teaching on Hebrew Israelite doctrine again, oh well. because this is where we got to park at. We can't walk nothing out in this book if we full of, if we're trying, there's no way you're going to put a nation together that's full of lusty men and unforgiving, hurt women. There's no way you'll build a nation. There's no way you'll build anything. Every time you try to come together, it's going to be a hot mess. And people are going to get hurt. You got to deal with where the problem's at, man. All right. So, Edna, you said I'm struggling with cigarettes, need help really bad. Let's get on it. I'm going to pause from what I'm teaching on and let's get on that. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about those cigarettes. Okay? I heard a good breakdown on if there's something that you want to stop doing, but you can't stop doing, this world calls it addiction. I call it demonic possession or oppression. Okay? So let's get that out of the way quick. Okay? All right. Hold on. Bear with me. I'm pulling up. I'm pulling up the definition I always run to. Okay? To break down how to get delivered from strongholds and bondages. Okay? So here we go. I got a good definition of it. All right? And it says, there's words in the Bible that we just read over, or that from being in Christianity and even, let's not even say Christianity, so-called Bible believers, people who say they believe in the Bible, but there's certain words that just get read over and, nobody gets the meat off the bones. I get to you too, Zakar. You said I'm dealing with depression really bad. I get to you too. And if you don't feel like I got all the meat off the bone with your issue of depression, you can contact me. You can contact me on the Spiritual Combat fan page or whatever it's called. But I'll get into that next. But the first one we're going to talk about is, Sister says she addicted to cigarettes. Okay? So I got check out my past lessons on Facebook or YouTube, particularly on YouTube, concerning topics of these demonic strongholds and getting these demons off you. Okay? Let's start with the way I boil the script, what the Bible says about them down to is these, because you are demonically possessed if you can't stop smoking a cigarette, or demonically oppressed. But it's spiritual. It says this stuff comes out by prayer, fasting, and seeking the Lord. Or to break it down even better, prayer, supplication, fasting, and seeking the Lord. And we're going to go into all those and break all that down. That's how pornography addiction comes off you. That's how addiction to masturbation comes off you. Is by prayer, fasting, and seeking the Lord and supplication. I'm going to break it all down. All these demonic, the unforgiveness that if you were the victim of child molestation or rape or whatever, a lot of y'all women, y'all and men too, harbor unforgiveness. It takes prayer, fasting, supplication, and seeking the Lord. And I'm going to go into what all those are. Because some of this stuff, you cannot will it away. You don't have, your willpower won't work against a demon that you have taken the required steps to give a demon the right to demonically oppress you or to demonically possess you. Okay? So look. So let's get into it. All right. It says the most important one I like to thoroughly define is supplication. You have to supplicate to the Lord. Okay. So I put the definition up. Let me bring it up here on the board so you can read it with me. And it says supplicate. It says to make a humble entreaty, especially to pray to God. Okay? So it's supplicating. It's same as prayer. It says to ask humbly and earnestly. Okay? And let's define what earnestly means. It says with sincere and intense conviction. Seriously. Okay? What's intense? What's conviction? Okay? Intense is of extreme force, degree, or strength. So all that willpower that you try to use to stop smoking, don't try to stop smoking. Use all your willpower and your drive and your force to supplicate and beg the Most High Yah to break that thing off you. That is what you have to do. That's book. Do a word search on supplication. Okay? Do a word in the Bible, you know. Look up all the areas where supplication is used in the Bible and just read the whole chapter on it. But instead of, oh, Lord, I got to stop smoking. Let me try to stop smoking for you, Lord. You know, no. But like, I'm going to tell you what happened with me with porn addiction. I was like, you know what, Lord? I was like, I can't stop looking at it, and I'm going to keep looking at it. I said, but what I can do is stop eating. Okay, I could give up everything I like. I could stop watching TV. I can do that. I do have the willpower to do that. I can stop drinking sodas. So I stopped drinking sodas or anything with caffeine. You know, I can stop going to the club and drinking. I can stop doing that. And I can beg you all day. Just beg. I was like, Lord, get this off me, Lord. Just anytime it popped in my mind. And when I say it popped in my mind to pray to God, or it popped in my mind. Anytime it popped in my mind to ask the Lord to get that off me, I'd just be begging him to get it off me. I want it off me, Lord. Get it, help me, Lord. I'm garbage. That's supplication. That's prayer. Not, oh Lord, thou hast sinned. And these fruity, perfectly, great sounding religiously prayers. Nah, if you heard my prayer, it was grinding and begging, because I wanted it off me and I wanted to serve him, because I realized that I had gotten demonically possessed with a spirit of lust, and I wanted it, like I said in my other video, I wanted it off me like somebody said, Mike, there's a tarantula on your back. Woo, get it off. That's how I was. That's how you need to be. You need to really want it gone. You feel me? So Sister Hicks said, unforgiveness. I'm going to get to you on the depression. Unforgiveness, bitterness is a giant elephant in the room. It is. And while he's delivering you from this, you got to stop watching TV. If you're struggling with lust, you have to stop watching TV because it feeds that. If you're struggling with the cigarette smoking, it's probably due to stress. And that's going to take us right into this other brother with depression. Depression comes from stress. Stress means there's a decision you have to make about something, and you haven't made that decision. There's a decision that has to be made, and you haven't made it. So it turns into stress. And because you continue to not make that decision, it eventually turns into depression. Okay? And that's not all the time. Sometimes it could be a diet issue, something you're not getting in your diet, or exercise, or something that's out there. But otherwise, yeah, depression can be a spirit of heaviness, just like Moses had depression. And the things that fix depression is, again, the supplication. Prayer, fast, supplication, and seeking the Lord. And and this same formula applies to all these strongholds that y'all coming with. Is what seeking the Lord is looking in the Bible for how to fix the problem. Because the Spirit will come down and help you and kind of deliver you from the problem, but you got to build your fort back up so those demons can't get back in and attack you. You got to build a walled fort up and see where you are. And while you are supplicating, when you're in supplication, or when you're under attack, you need to be supplicating. And while you're supplicating, you need to be in the book of Psalms reading it, because that is a supplication, spiritual combat, active warfare book, straight up. That is frontline, bullets are flying, you in the midst of conflict, hand-to-hand combat type of book. You need to be in that book. But yeah, the depression comes because there's stuff going on in your life. Like, I remember me when I was struggling with women, and I wasn't in a relationship, and I was depressed about that, because I was like, well, I don't know, what's going to happen, And then when I finally made the decision that, hey, I'm going to figure this area of my life out. I don't care if I got to camp out in a library and read every book, or search far and wide on the internet. I'm going to get this figured out. 2 years later, I was married with kids. You know what I'm saying? And that was after being, single for 27 something odd years. I was 27 or whatever, 30 or something like that. So you got to declare wars against stuff. You got to face stuff. Stuff ain't just going to go away. There's something you have to do. And the book tells you prayer, fast, supplication, seeking the Lord. So let's look up some more aspects of that word supplication. It says, of extreme force, degree of strength, having or showing strong feelings or opinions, extreme, earnest, or serious. Let's look with conviction. Because pride prevents you from having conviction a lot of times. A formal declaration that someone is guilty. A formal declaration that someone is guilty. Okay? A formal declaration that someone is guilty of a criminal offense made by the verdict of a jury or the decision of a judge in a court of law. A firmly held belief or opinion. So conviction. You know that what you're doing don't line up with y'all's word. All right. So somebody put depression, best way to stop it is to stay busy. I always keep my depression busy now. Even when I'm not at work, I go to estate sales, garage sale. So that is, you're treating the symptom. I'm talking about getting rid of the spirit of depression. Depression is a spirit. It's a spirit of heaviness. So he's saying just stay busy. That's a way of kind of ignoring it. Face the depression. Look at that video I did the other day about us learning to be more sensitive. And when I say sensitive, not some little chump running around crying all the time. I'm talking about being sensitive and sensing what's going on in between your ears and where it's coming from and how to deal with it. Okay? You don't deal with depression by just, I'm going to just take my attention off and feel bad. Then it's going to go away. It's going to come back. And you're not going to get away with it. We're talking about getting delivered from and fixing these problems. Okay? So no. You got to go through the problem. Begin to look at, what's going on in my life that's causing me depression? Is there something I'm unhappy about? Is there some, you know what I'm saying? You got to go through and ask yourself the questions and begin to look at what's going on up in your head. That's one of the ways I got delivered from the internet porn. Like a lot of people will come on here and say, oh, if you struggle with internet porn, get a porn filter put on your computer. I don't have no filters on my computer, phone, or nothing. I got the demon off me, and now I'm not made to do it. Get the demon off you. That's the key goal with the thing, okay? But to sit there and try to take your attention off it, that's a Band-Aid solution. You're not doing away with it. When you are demonically possessed or oppressed, and you got, through being aware of what's going on with you, when you realize you got a spirit on you, because that's one of the things I realized when I was struggling with the lust and porn addiction, is I could feel something, because I was watching my thoughts closely, and I could see where certain thoughts weren't even mine. And then after studying, I realized it was a spirit. And that's when I reacted to it like there was a tarantula on my back. I was like, I gotta get this thing off me. And from that moment on, for the next month or so, I was in heavy prayer, fasting, and supplication. And that thing was removed off me instantly, like I've never experienced before. Where, now I don't know if I'm using it in context, but where it says the way it happened surpassed all understanding, I can't put it into words, because it wasn't anything emotional. I didn't feel anything come off me. It was just like the desire never came back again. Okay? And then it was scary too. There was a scary thing where I knew, like, I don't know, man. It's like I knew I could go even further into that power, but the power scared me, that it was a Most High's power. It was like, whoa. You know what I'm saying? And I can't even put that into words. But this is called spiritual combat for a reason. Because when you're fighting depression, lust, and all these issues, cigarettes, because the sister put cigarettes in there. When you're fighting all this stuff, you have to fight it in the spirit realm with prayer, fasting, supplication, and seeking the Lord. Yeah, you can't, oh, well, I'm gonna get some Nicotrol gum. And then, 3 months later, you got a big glob of Nicotrol, you like, and you still smoking. You got to get that demon off you. It's spiritual combat. It's like that song says, man. All right, so y'all put some stuff in there. Let me see. All right, so I'm glad you put that there. So Brother Powell put, okay, and that he said it was his financial situation. And when check this out. This is good here. All right, this is going to be heavy. All right, so the more you grow spiritually, the more you learn to look for what's wrong with you and then fix it. Like Christ said, that scripture, I just wear it out. He said, first clean the inside of the cup, then clean the outside. First, get your mind right. Okay? As you learn this prayer, fast, supplication process, as you learn how to humble down and read books like Proverbs and Ecclesiasticus, otherwise known as Sirach in the Apocrypha or whatever, as you learn to read books like that make you look at yourself, and you get used to looking at yourself, you get more sensitive to, hey, like for instance, sometimes I get overwhelmed because I got a lot of stuff going on, but I'm so sensitive to it, I'd be like, oh, I'm feeling some overwhelmness in my spirit. I'm like, okay, what do I need to do? I need to write a list. Boom, I write the list out, and that goes away. What you have out here is people who are so unaware of what they're feeling that by the time they become aware of what it is, it's depression. It's full-blown chronic depression. It's by the time they become aware of what it is, they out there running around as a homosexual with other men before they realize it was a demon making them look at porn or whatever and address it. Because of their pride and their unawareness, it turns into this monster. They're out there turning into a molester and all that. A lot of women, by the time they realize that they're holding on to bitterness and unforgiveness from men because of something that happened to them way back when they were little, with some man molested them, now it manifests into a whole history of disastrous relationships. It manifests into men not really wanting to deal with them because they nightmares or whatever. That's why you got to face yourself. I'm just putting it basic. That's what the book's telling you. That was Israel's problem, is we're stubborn and stiff-necked and prideful and don't want to look at ourselves. You know what I'm saying? That was me. But eventually the pain got so heavy and humiliating, which humiliation is so great because it humbles you down and forces you to look at yourself. You see what I'm saying? Drugs are the same thing, Sister Monica. Drugs, same thing. Drugs is sorcery. Okay? And it's funny because one of the things I studied when I was going into truth, I studied a lot about the spirit world, demonology, even went off and studied like Aleister Crowley. And it's funny, the stuff he said lined up with the Bible, just on the bad side. You know what I'm saying? Because Aleister Crowley said the quickest way to get, they say, a spirit guide, but to get demonically possessed is sorcery, which the Bible calls sorcery drug use. So again, it's demonic possession. And yes, sister, the same thing. And I was an alcoholic also. I was a bad alcoholic. And the exact same formula applies is prayer, fasting, and supplication and seeking the Lord. Okay? That is the same formula. And you got a lot of times, because we be stubborn and stiff-necked, the Most High Yah got to really humiliate you and ruin you. And like, you see women who just chronically single their whole life, and they just humiliate. It's a sore spot for them, and they don't want to look at what the root cause is. It's like, man, I talked about it in the video I did the other day. I was like, yeah, one of the most humiliating moments was when I was like, yeah, I'm not good with women. I gotta actually read a book or something and figure it out, But then as I began to do it, I realized, man, it was the route to go. A lot of people, because of pride, the last place they want to look and that they don't even want to think about looking is looking at themselves. And that's the only place where things will get fixed. Okay? So yeah. Let me see. Y'all, let me keep up with y'all on YouTube over here. All right, hold on. Let me see. Yeah, but and like Sister Ken, I'm not sure if you're a sister, but Kenna's put you might need to pray and fast a little harder. I would say this. It said supplication. All that, let me make it real simple. All that willpower that we have as men and women, if you want to get delivered from something, you need to direct all that willpower into seeking the Lord with prayer and supplication. Like, that's what that willpower needs to be, like, really earnestly. Ooh, Lord, you see what I'm saying? Coming at him, praying, and just seriously seeking him and earnestly and repenting and seeking his spiritual help. Because, like I said, Christ says, some of these only come out with prayer and fasting. And supplication is that desperate, earnest, hard, no, with all my might prayer. And I'm telling you, going back to the title of my lesson, ain't nobody teaching this. And it's the reason why we kind of plateaued out, and I see a lot of Hebrews struggling with all types of stuff. Simple stuff, man. Struggling, when I say struggling with stuff, I'm talking about struggling with obvious things that are obvious sins that they know is wrong, but I see people making clever excuses of why it's continuing to go on, or hiding it. And hiding it from themselves and not being honest with themselves and not really facing themselves. Because they're afraid of, well, I don't know what to do. And most people don't, because they ain't been through this. Like, so a lot of folks shouldn't be teaching. It's like, because folks ain't been through this and successfully come out of it. It's war out here, man. You're a soldier and you're in a war. You're a soldier and you're in a war, and they're telling you you're at Disney World. But I'm here to tell you, you're not at Disney World. Them big brick walls you see there, that's not the Iron Kingdom. I mean, that's not the Disney Kingdom or whatever, the Magic Kingdom. That's not Mickey Mouse over there. That's a soldier trying to kill you. You on a battlefield. Stop letting these people tell you everything gonna be all right, you in Disney World. When the book says faith without works is dead. Well, where's the work gotta be at? Seeking the Lord. Prayer, fast, and supplication. You have not because you ask not. You're not really asking. Dudes be like, oh yeah, I'm out, smoking a crack pipe. Oh, the Lord knows, he understands me. Out there running around, being a homosexual. Oh, God knows, he made me this way. Okay. That ain't what the book say. The book say you better seek the Lord with all your heart, mind, and soul to get that thing off you. That's just book, man. Y'all let me know, but I'm just trying to keep it 100. All right, Denise, but everything you're saying, thank you, Sister Denise. Find it hard to forget. Music, I found it, man. Okay, well, let me tell you this. I'm glad you put that there, because I meant to put that on there. How to forgive somebody and what forgiving is. And like I said, forgiving isn't forgetting. Forgiving is letting go of that malice and hurt that's binding you. And the only way you can forgive is by understanding all this stuff. Understanding what made that man into what he is. How these men end up getting hooked on porn, and how not having a real man in the house to give righteous biblical leadership and direction to the family, how that destroys things. Okay? Understanding the vicious cycle of lust, molestation, and rape, that whole cycle, and how it's a wicked engine of destruction, and understanding that, and understanding where you fell into that, and how your parents fell into that, and how your abuser and all, understanding all that, then letting go. But on the same note, not forgetting that, hey, that dude's still wicked, I ain't going around him, but let the Most High deal with him, whatever. So understanding what that forgiveness is, because a lot of people act like forgiveness is a lot of that forgiveness, a lot of people teach forgiveness and they're like acting like it's forget. Heck nah, I ain't forgetting nothing. I just ain't gonna let that malice and hurt tear me apart. I gotta go through it and understand what creates It's literally a system. Crafty councils our enemies who are led by Satan took to destroy us as a people. Destroy our families, destroy our minds, destroy everything through these heathens, through their heathen religion that they've cleverly manipulated the Bible into, and all that, to destroy us. Facts. Let's see. Blessed are the merciful, for they shall obtain mercy. Exactly. And, and again, is prayer, fasting, and seeking the Lord. The seeking the Lord is seeking that understanding of what's really going on here. What's really going on? What's really going on in this society? You know what I'm saying? What's driving all this stuff? Not, I'm gonna go to, because going to church is like taking drugs to overcome depression. You go in there, oh Jesus, get all emotional, come out, and the lust demon or the addiction demon was like, man, that was fun. All right, let's go smoke some crack. You know what I'm saying? Come on. You gotta look. This the deception that's put out there among Bible believers, whether it's Christian or Hebrew or whatever. Oh, if you want to overcome this or whatever, you gotta keep these laws. Wear your fringes, Ak. And I got my fringes on. I'm about my fringes, but that ain't gonna fix me. Prayer, fasting, and supplication, humiliation, and fasting and seeking the Lord, that's going to fix you. When I say, again, I got to reiterate, when I say seeking the Lord, I'm talking about seeking him on what the issue is. Looking at yourself. When you begin to seek the Lord, seeking the Lord is reading the Bible or getting teachings like this telling you, because the Bible's telling you got to look at yourself. The inside of your glass is dirty. And it's funny because after you've been on this walk for a while and you've done this humiliating but humbling work and killed that pride, your spiritual discernment becomes so clear and so powerful that sometimes you don't even want to think about what you just saw in somebody. Okay? Because you got to clean the inside of the glass. But it strengthens your spiritual discernment so you can discern stuff. And sometimes your spiritual discernment will get so loud that you're like, wow. You know what I'm saying? So let's see. Somebody put, Shalom, brother. Can you do a lesson about spiritual blessings and how you can block your blessing, or how to know you receive your blessing? I'll do that right now. That's simple. A lot of people, again, the brutal and wickedness of this of these heathens' manipulation of our book. A blessing and a curse is just merely a result of, for the most part. Now listen to what I'm saying, but a blessing and a curse is merely a result of an action you took. So, for instance, that brother, I don't want to use that one, but so for instance, you weren't taught about lust. The churches weren't teaching us and warning us about lust and porn addiction and how to get delivered from it. So now the result is the curses. Folks is out turning gay and dying from STDs. They're cursed. Because what? They're going against the law, statutes, commandments of Yah in a lot of ways. Yeah, not just being homosexual, but also not obeying his laws of lust and how to get delivered from these demons. Instead, they're ignoring them. So they receive curses for that transgression. If you ignore what the Bible says for too long, it turns into a curse. Depression. You've ignored your stress for too long. You've ignored your forgiveness for too long. Now every relationship you get into is cursed. Now your stress is turned into unforgiveness. It's a curse. Okay? But when you pray, fast, and seek the Lord for deliverance, for deliverance from that lust that I was struggling with, from that porn addiction I was struggling with, when I seek the Lord for that the way he said to do it, I received a blessing. I wasn't walking around emaciated, because for a man, when he knows, he has to think, hey, I'm a one-handed internet bandit. You know what I'm saying? I sit here and look at porn, and then you look at the dude, and you can see that he walking around in a spirit of, in an Ahab defeated, emasculated spirit. He cursed. You know, he get around women, and the women can see you're not confident about yourself. They don't want to get with you. You're cursed. You're walking in the curses. I'm gonna give y'all a perfect example of how I was cursed in my career. I used to kick against the people at work and wrestle with them and their authority, because I didn't like the way they told me stuff, and they were disrespectful. There's a lot of racism. And my whole military career, I did. The last time I was promoted was back in 2000 in my military career, 2018. You know, and I retired at the same rank that, you know, I had when I was in 2000. I retired in 2015 or 16 or whatever. I retired with that same rank because I was cursed. And then when I got into the book and really started diving in and seeing where I was in error, seeing where it said, obey those who are over you, even the thrower, even the ones who come disrespectful to you. When I started walking in that, I walked in abundance at my new job, and blessings, and things worked together for the good for me. You see? So, and the reason I'm really focusing on that is because people in these religious organizations act like they teach that Disney World doctrine. If you wish upon a star, la, 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 and it'll come true. So if you just want it, it's going to happen. No. It said faith without works is dead. If you don't do something, if you don't do what it says to do in this book, you're gonna walk around cursed. The book is very practical. It's not this Disney World doctrine that folks is out here teaching. You know? So yeah, man. Hey, shalom, Tanisha. Good to see you in there. Shalom to you. Shalom. I thank the Most High. Oh, okay. I appreciate y'all. All praise to the Most High. Because look, I went through this pain, man. And I used to ask why. Why am I such a loser or whatever the heck? Why I struggle with all this stuff. And all turns out he took me through it all to show y'all. And now I'm showing y'all, and y'all can go through this, and y'all don't need to sit up under me like I'm Creflo Dollar or something. No, y'all need to learn this and go out and spread this out. Grow from it, extrapolate, and get out from it from what you can, and teach other people, you know? Teach other people, man. Because folks is hurting, man. Y'all don't know, man. I be seeing it firsthand. Folks wonder why I came on here some type of way today, because there's things I see that I'm privy to, you know, that I see because of the situation I'm in and all that. You know, I get the phone calls, I do the counsel, I hear the stuff, and I'm like, dudes ain't teaching folks. You know, folks they're not warning the sheep. And again, I'm going to put it back up there again. And this is the result. This is what ends up happening. The wolves devour the sheep. Okay? So yeah, man, we gotta get on this. All right, so let me see what else y'all got here in the comments. I know y'all. I'm trying to keep up with y'all. So yeah, we hit on that. Shalom, brother. Can you do a lesson? Okay, so yeah. Blessings are merely a result of keeping his laws, statutes, and commandments. When I say laws, statutes, and commandments, I'm not talking about the external laws, statutes, and commandments, fringes, keeping the Shabbat and not eating pork, and you need to do that. That comes with benefits too. And I see so many Hebrews doing that, but they don't keep the internal laws, statutes, and commandments. Hey, shalom, Robin Milligan. Good to see you in there, Ock, man. I'm going to hit you up later on today. We're going to just chop it up. So he put a lot of things we have picked up, things in the life that we have not known. Man, that's good. See, a lot of, like that young girl who's a woman now, a lot of these women don't even know the reason that they're on drugs or the reason why they hate black men is because they picked up a spirit way back when that hurtful thing happened to them. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people don't know that they picked up a demon when they open up their internet browser and typed in whatever, search. I didn't know that. Back in 2000 when I started, or when I picked up that first porn magazine, I didn't know 30 years later or 27 years later, it really have a strong grip on me, So yeah, they don't know that. So Milligan put that life known. The Most High has gave us the curses and the blessings. It is us that don't give time to discern ourselves of the scripture. Yeah, we have instruction. Yeah, it's instruction. Instruction in correctness. Instruction in righteousness. See, let me say this real quick. Because, Robin, that was a good statement there. I didn't even finish it because you hit on something so good. The insidious part of what's put out there is a lot of this Mystery Babylon the Great, the mother of harlots and abominations of the earth, is a Catholic church. And it's the mother of harlots. So what are the harlots? It's offshoots, Christianity, all these other, and the insidious thing it did is it takes the practicality out of the Bible, and it makes it a Disney doctrine, a Magic Kingdom doctrine, the best way I could put it. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, that's the thing, and so therefore people are reading over scriptures that apply to exactly what they're wrestling with. But they're not perceiving it that way because they've been taught a different way. Like I'm saying, hey, this is a pen. Or I'm sorry, this is a pencil. I'm saying this is a pencil. And they're telling you it's a toothpick. So you can only use it to pick your teeth. And you're getting stressed out because you want to write a message, but they're saying, well, you can't use it. You're saying, but I can't use that. It's a toothpick. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if that was a good analogy, but that's what the insidious thing is. This book is so practical and logical to everything. But what Catholicism did, and its offshoots, it's told you it's just this emotional mental ascension thing when it's very practical and down to earth. So you hear certain scriptures and you say them in a certain way, like when you hear, okay, we're going to receive the blessings. Your mind is thinking Disney Kingdom, Magic Kingdom, and lotto tickets and luck and winning in Vegas mindset, like Genie Wish. When I hear blessings, I hear the result of doing this equals that. The result of being respectful to my boss, even when he talks to me disrespectfully, is me having favor at my job. A blessing. You see what I'm saying? Now, I'm going to tell you this also. When you're walking with the Most High Yah in sincerity and in truth, you also see the magical luck stuff happening because it's his grace, because he's sending his angels to give you guidance on stuff that you wouldn't know, but he knows that if he did want you to know, or he knows if it was told to you, he knows you'd do it. I hope you understand that. I tried to explain it good. Let me finish with my man Robin put. He said, we have instruction. He said, it's there, the trials of the tests of the time. We must quit giving ourselves to the things that are wicked. That's right. Brother Israel put, the heathen have actually taken the Bible and used for themselves. Yeah. And used it to destroy us. Yeah. Yeah, man. Meaning they have taken the lessons and incorporated in their life to progress and get ahead. Exactly. And then and told us to, we're all one, we are the world, we are the future, love everybody, while they play team ball. And we're scoring on their basket. So they've used it to, it's a crafty counsel to cut you off from being a basketball team, to being your own team. Crafty counsel to cut you off from being a nation. You know what I'm saying? Why? And the fact is, like, why are we the only ones in a situation like this? Look, in a situation like this, brother getting shot, or in a situation like what we talked about with the hair situation.
One would be formaldehyde.
In a situation like that, why are we the only ones sounding the alarm? If they're so into the Bible, why aren't they yelling about it? Why aren't Christian pastors even really talking about it? Because if they start telling them women to get a natural hairdo, filthy lucre's sake. But in the meantime, they'll just let them women keep coming there. Like I said, these chemicals affect their endocrine system. That could be causing your depression. What did it say? I didn't even pull that article up. It said, the strong, independent black woman, the new face of depression. Black women lead depression. You get a black woman, she can't understand why she gets so angry and annoyed all the time, and her PMS cycle so bad, and she can't have kids, so she's even more depressed, and she's single, and she cursed. Her hair falling out now. Her crown. She's cursed. And nobody telling them nothing. And then they walk around blessed and highly favored. But you're depressed and your hair is falling out and you can't have kids and you can't get a husband and you're miserable. But you're saying you blessed and highly favored. But you're not blessed. You're cursed and highly unfavored. And the only way you can be blessed and highly favored is if you walk in these laws, statutes, and commandments. I'm just going 100 with it. I'm just going down the middle. I know it don't feel good, but hey, when you get cut, it don't. But when it heal up, it feel a lot better. The pain go away. So Issachar put, the heathen have actually taken the Bible and used for themselves, meaning they have taken the lesson and incorporated in their life to progress and get ahead. Yeah, get ahead. Basically, many of these motivational and leadership speakers basically to the Bible and reword it in their own words. For example, John C. Maxwell, I read his book, did very well. Then when I came into the truth, I realized all I had to do is read the Bible. Exactly. It's all in there. It is. Like there's a book, How to Win Friends and Influence People. And then you read the book and it's all through there. It's what you got to do when you at work dealing with these supervisors and stuff like that. That's good. Yeah, man. But these stupid, these so-called Bible teachers out here, they teach this feel-good doctrine that's so toxic and deceptive. It's deceptive. You have no idea how bad it is, but, you know, I mean, man, it stirs me up, boy. It gets me feeling some type of way. So Brother Milligan put, but the word is the healer. We must protect ourselves with this word. Break away from thou things in you that don't match. The devil want you to be deceived by what the word will give you. Learn. Exactly. He can't deceive you if you... Man, look, this is heavy. Look, I was telling Ak this yesterday. Okay, you're 40 years old. Say you're 40 years old and there's a 2-year-old baby. Think about how much more wisdom and knowledge you have over that baby. Okay? Now think about this. You got demons and spirit beings that have been around thousands of years. And you're 40 years old. Think about how deceptive these spiritual beings can be. They could deceive you. They're so good at deceiving you, you could sit there and read the word and they done deceive you to where you're interpreting it in a disempowering way. You see what I'm saying? And it takes a spirit-filled man or somebody led by the Spirit to open up and break it down to you how you deceive and how you're understanding that word. Like, only that could be applicable. It's like Satan know the Bible better than any of y'all. But look, he deceived people walking with Christ who had the whole history. They had the whole history. They had the whole culture. They had all of our books intact, our history. Christ was right there, and Judas still went off. You see what I'm saying? So you gotta seek the Most High, man, and tell him don't let him lead you astray, man. Let's see. Yeah, many. So yeah, let me see. But yeah, man. So yeah, man. It's the deception's heavy. And like I said, it reached the the only thing I can do. I'm not gonna go out there and name call or like, oh man, you off. Nah, the Most High called me to teach us. Only thing I can do is sound the alarm. I can't yell at other people. I can't waste my time yelling at other people for not sounding the alarm bell. All I could do is run around and sound my alarm and keep my alarm going and wake the people up. You know what I'm saying? It ain't my position to say, why ain't you ringing the bell? He gave me a bell to ring, and I'm going to ring my bell. You know what I'm saying? Otherwise, if I'm running after them, asking them why they ain't ringing their bell, my bell's not going to be ringing. So I'm going to keep the alarm sounding, man. And, because it's funny, man. The people that these religious teachers hate the most are the ones that sound the alarm the most. You you got Hebrews out there that, yeah, I agree. Like some of these Hebrews, they extreme. They like, you know, the white man is the white man. I agree. They like that. But at the end of the day, they err to the side of caution. Like at the end of the day, they'll keep me alive. At the end of the day, if I follow their ministry, I'm not going to wind up getting killed by a cop over something stupid. Because I'm going to know who's on what team. You know, look, if somebody, look, let me, I got to say this again. You see this here? Look at this article, because this is heavy. This armed extremist group is threatening violence if Stacey Abrams becomes governor in Georgia. I got to warn you again. These people, you think that just because they took a picture in the woods, you think they live in the woods? Or do they work with you? Could some of them be your neighborhood police officer that you think is your friend? You know? You don't hear the cops ain't out there trying to warn you. You don't hear the so-called good cops doing videos saying, hey, y'all need to watch out for the bad cops. You don't see the so-called good cops turning in the bad cops, do you? I'm just saying, man, this is common sense. Be careful out there, man. Folks be running their mouths to supervisors and cops out there and don't know who the heck they talking to. Look at that. Look at that lady. Look at this dude. These look like everyday people. The book told you, man. You don't know, man. You might be up there yelling at somebody, and in their heart, they'd love to just kill you. And you think y'all just having a little disagreement. It says, when a man's ways please Yah, he make even his enemies to be at peace with him. Okay? And I'm just hitting that again. Because this brother, nobody taught him that. Nobody told him that. Nobody warned him. We have to warn the sheep. Warn the sheep. And you know, So Sister Hicks, but Lucifer had pipes in his body. Why do you think the music is so seductive and destructive? Pied Piper. They know they keep you in that church. Hey, hitting them drums. You in there. And then you go out and ain't nothing changed. They didn't warn you about nothing. You can't figure out why you're struggling on your job. You can't figure out why you can't meet a man. You can't figure out why you keep looking at the internet porn. But you felt good for that hour or that 2 hours. You felt good. It gave you a little dose of spiritual high, you know. And you think you done did something good in the Most High's eyes, but that ain't the case, man. They just sending you out there and letting these wolves tear you apart. But yeah, you know, we gotta watch ourselves. Exactly, brother, or I think that's Tar. He said these heathens keep saying they not terrorists, but we know the definition of a terrorist. You know, if we gotta, let me pull that scripture up. Y'all put in there, it said walk circumspectly because the days are evil. Let me see if I can find that one. That's a good one. Yeah, I'm going to pull that up for y'all. Because that goes right with what I'm saying right here. You know. All right, so 16. I'm going to just pull it up in context. It says, wherefore, this is Ephesians 5:16. Or Ephesians 5, I think I'm starting at 14. It said, wherefore, He saith, awake thou that sleepest. Awake. The book telling you, wake the hell up. I'm going to say it as real as I could put it. This book is so far from what they're making it out to be in these religious establishments. It said, awake thou that sleepeth, and arise from the dead, and Christ shall give thee light. See then that ye walk circumspectly. Walk cautiously. I want to say this to y'all, man. It's dangerous out there. I know, and you don't gotta walk around all, because he hasn't given you the spirit of fear, but of a sound mind and of boldness. But I'm telling you, it's dangerous out there. It's dangerous out there. When you go to the grocery store, when you're driving, there's a lot of dangers out there. We've been deceived in the dangerous behaviors designed to kill us off with clever, crafty counsel. It's dangerous. I'm warning y'all, it's dangerous out there. And do with the circumspect. It means, hold on one second. Watchful and discreet, cautious, prudent, circumspect behavior. Prudent means looking ahead. That's why it's so insidious of what these religious organizations try to do. They try to tell you, oh, it's all good. God got you. God got you. And then the cops shooting you in the back and killing you. Because they're lying to you. It's telling you, be careful. All these scriptures I done brought up, it's telling you, be careful. Let me continue reading it. See then that ye walk circumspectly, not as fools, but as wise, redeeming the time, because the days are evil. Does this apply to what we see happening today? I'm asking y'all. Where you see every time you turn around, one of our brothers and sisters is getting devoured by these wolves. They're doing it slowly with the hair care products, with the food, with the so-called law enforcement. They're destroying us. Are the days evil today? Yeah. It says, wherefore be ye not unwise, but understanding what the will of the Lord is. What's the will of the Most High Yah? That's what I've been trying to show you through here. And these folks ain't warning you. They're not telling you what the will is. Okay? And it says, and be not drunken with wine, wherein in excess, but be ye filled with the Spirit. Okay? Speaking to yourselves in psalms and hymns, and spiritual songs, singing and making melody in your heart to the Lord. Psalms and hymns, not these feminized gospel songs that say, oh, it's all going to be all good. It's going to be all right. No, you need to listen to something and be reciting something. The fact that you're under spiritual attack and you're in a spiritual war. You need to reset your music collection or something. Make your own song up off Psalms. It said reciting Psalms. I was telling you, when you're going through a demonic attack, you got to be in Psalms. Book of Psalms. Okay? So let's see. Y'all put some stuff there. Yeah, sister said she was watching Roots last night. I don't even watch that stuff because that don't get me. I be feeling some type of way. And a lot of these churches act like this stuff isn't even going on. That bothers me. When this is like the biggest thing, every couple weeks you're seeing something crazy. Every couple weeks you're seeing something crazy, and 90% of the people out there are I guarantee almost the number probably approaches 100%. People are either struggling with lust, unforgiveness, or addiction. You know what I'm saying? But what do you hear people teaching on? Everything else but that. All right. Let me see. So yeah, man. But anyway, y'all, I hope this lesson was informative. Let me make sure I don't have any more. I think I might have some more verses up here. I'm going to just make sure. Yeah, here we go. Lamentations 4:18. This applies to today. I know it's Lamentations, but this is applicable to today. They hunt our steps, that we cannot go in our streets. Our end is near. Our days are fulfilled, for our end is come. I felt like that kind of can be referenced to, and I know that I didn't read that in context, so I understand that. Okay, here go another one. Okay. 2 Thessalonians 2:11. And for this cause God shall send them strong delusion, that they should believe a lie, that they all might be damned who believe not the truth, but had pleasure in unrighteousness. Okay? We're trying to come down the middle with it. For the people. So yeah, I think that pretty well hit on everything I was trying to bring out. If this was a blessing to you, I would appreciate if you subscribe. If you're on YouTube, subscribe to my Spiritual Combat channel and click the notification button. If you're watching on Brother Ugo's page, also subscribe to his page and hit the notification button so you can be notified when it goes live. Next time I go live. If you're watching on Facebook, go to the Spiritual Combat. Go to the Spiritual Combat Facebook page on there and click the follow and receive notification drop down thing there, so you can receive notifications when I go live. But I appreciate all y'all tuning in. I hope this was informative to you. And what I'm going to do is take it out with the Spiritual Combat theme song made by L&L Music Productions. Shout out to my L&L. And with that said, y'all, appreciate y'all tuning in, and shalom.
We wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world. It's a spiritual combat. It's a spiritual combat. It's a spiritual combat. It's a spiritual combat. It's time to get into formation. We gotta get ready for the battle. So call on your brothers and sisters. We gotta turn back to the scriptures. Stop making it all about you. Them preachers, they got it confused. Come out of her. Cause Yahuwah is our deliverer. Don't be ashamed. Don't be ashamed, cause nobody's perfect. We're called by his name. We're called by his name. Seek him to be worthy. We should be coming together. There's power and unity. It's time to come into the order, cause we are a living prophecy. Wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world. It's a spiritual combat. It's a spiritual combat. It's a full step mode, put on camouflage.